It's almost like there were two George Foremans. There was the guy who played the heavy, really, the villain against Muhammad Ali in Zaire a half a century ago. Let's talk about that guy first. Tell us about the young George Foreman.
Well, if you look at boxing as a continuum, he was somewhere between, he was the scary guy. So he's between Sonny Liston and Mike Tyson. And, you know, Joe Frazier was about as tough a guy who's ever laced up gloves. He put him down 6 times. And I think that really crystallized Foreman's reputation as invincible. Everybody, you know, who's going to put down Joe Frazier 6 times? And it set up the Rumble in the Jungle, arguably as famous a fight as ever there was, for Ali, which of course left Foreman, I think, psychiatrically scarred. You know, he was the bully who was undone against Ali, and it was probably Ali's finest moment. It was what he did in the rope-a-dope was pretty much improvisational, and it tested his courage, and it tested everyone's limits. And watching this, how long can Ali do this? And then, of course, you saw what happened. He turned it all around on the bully. What's different about Foreman than perhaps anyone else is the idea you cited before of reinventing yourself. It's uniquely American, but it's never been done this way in boxing. It wasn't just coming back as a preacher and a pitchman and selling hamburgers or grills or whatever it was. It was more purposeful than any of us knew as far as boxing. The previous oldest heavyweight champion, I believe, was Jersey Joe Walcott, who won when he was 37. Foreman came back when he was just shy of his 46th birthday, I think 2 months shy. And in doing it, it was his own kind of rope-a-dope that night against Michael Moore. I'll never forget it. He took punches. Moore was a really skilled guy, and he just beat him up for 9 rounds. Moore did, with a great right jab, and all of a sudden, Foreman reaches out, slaps him with a left hook, and you see that right hand. That thing travels this far, boom, and it puts him out. And it was an extraordinary comeback. And I think that across all the other sports are metaphors for what boxing actually is, but what Foreman did that night was what was the most sacred thing any athlete can do. He defied time, and he did it in a profound way, winning by knockout in the 10th round after taking extraordinary punishment for, you know, basically 9.5 rounds.
Unbelievable. Larger-than-life figure, winning titles in 2 different decades, 20 years apart. Had 5 sons, named them all George. Just a colorful
figure. If I can add one thing.
Yes.
You know, he didn't just reinvent himself. He was a bad guy who came back as a guy who was universally loved. That's a very difficult thing to do in any piece of life.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he basically changed everyone's mind about himself, and really a remarkable life.